सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today's subject is illumine your comprehension. I can say this is the whole subject of Patanjali. This is the subject which Patanjali is expressing through this whole sutras. Illumining your comprehension means seeing things properly, with a proper light, with awakened vision. Your mind is your bondage. Your mind leads you to freedom. Mind can make anything out of anything. Any situation can be experienced as any situation. It can either enjoy or suffer the same situation. It can experience joy or being defamed in the same situation. It can comprehend pleasure or pain in the same situation. It can make you experience anything out of anything. Here, Patanjali says these 5 modifications: right knowledge, wrong knowledge, imagination, sleep and memory. These 5 can be the reasons for your pleasure or pain, for your anguish or joy, for your peace or restlessness. You can use these 5 towards anything. Sometimes people ask me, how can right knowledge be the reason for suffering, Swamiji? How can we use right knowledge for suffering? Here Patanjali says all these 5 can be reason for suffering or joy. People understand an enlightened person should be very calm, cool, collective, balanced. This is a kind of a right knowledge. But they use that knowledge and start creating guilt, expectations, difficulties inside them. Even right knowledge in the wrong hands can create suffering, can create difficulties. I have seen people having some idea about how life should be, this, that. Actually, if you see, it will be right knowledge, just like this situation. I was telling you a story, one Zen master crying when his master died. We have an idea, enlightened person should not cry. He is supposed to be balanced. It's a kind of a right knowledge only. But when you apply, misunderstand, misuse, it can create agony inside you. You can use that same idea to create guilt in you, or questions in you, doubt in you. Even right knowledge in the hands of wrong person can create suffering. Of course, wrong knowledge always creates suffering. People ask me. One more question. Patanjali says here, all these 5 can create right, can create joy or suffering. How can wrong knowledge create joy? Can create suffering, we know. How can wrong knowledge create joy? Sometimes, accidentally, even wrong knowledge leads you to joy. Even wrong knowledge leads you to next level, next step. I have seen many instances. They may not know the reason, the right reason, but they do the right act. Without knowing right reason, without having the knowledge about right reason, but doing right act, that kind of situations. Even wrong knowledge leads you to joy. Wrong knowledge leads you to pleasure. Actually, what really needs to happen inside us is a cognitive shift. Means your comprehension should be illumined. Straight away able to relate with the truth without difficulties, complications, torturing, straight away ability to relate with the truth. I have seen many times in my experience, people can neither resist the joy and ecstasy of being in my presence, but nor they can drop their arrogance, nor they can come out of their ego. They continue to come and continue to criticize something. I tell them, if you are feeling like criticizing, don't come, relax, be where you are. They are not able to, no. That we can't do. They will continue to come, but continue to criticize something. They can neither keep themselves away, nor completely to create more and more bondage. It is called mind. Conditioning. I have seen even the great knowledge about yoga, people start using it for one more conditioning. I have seen thousands of people reading Yoga Sutra, they will be depressed because they misuse this knowledge, they abuse this knowledge, they misinterpret this knowledge, they start imagining their own things out of this knowledge. That is why this great truth should be heard directly from an enlightened being. Then he knows where Patanjali put comma, where Patanjali gave strong emphasis, where Patanjali gave the gap. He knows. Please understand, the other day I was reading a beautiful line. God is nowhere. Somebody put a comma next to W. Then it says, God is now here. Sometime you need an enlightened person to put the comma, to create the gap. Only he knows where Patanjali gave gap, where Patanjali put the comma. The other slogan I read, there is only one God. One guy put the comma next to the word, there is only one. Then it reads, there is only one God. First line it says, there is only one God. It's more like a moral science, uniting all the religions, creating peace. The second line, there is only one, comma, God. It's a spiritual experience. It's a spiritual truth. These two statements may look similar, but it has tremendous different significance. Its significance is totally different. See, there is only one God. It can be uttered by anybody. Everybody utters the same thing. But they say in the end, there is only one God, that is my God. Not your God. That is where the problem starts. Everybody accepts there is only one God, no doubt. But everybody says that God is only my God, not your God. The path to that God is only my path, not your path. That is where the problem starts. So if you put one comma, there is only one God, there is only one comma, God, then it's a spiritual experience. This statement means there is only one thing, nothing else. So, when you listen to these great truths from an enlightened master, you know where to put the comma, you know where Patanjali gave the gap, you know where he emphasized, you know where he was connecting or disconnecting words. Imagination can either lead you to hell or heaven. Imagination can lead either towards this direction or that direction. I can give you thousands of examples, thousands of stories. Especially I am constantly working with people's imaginations. It's my life. Last 6 years I am working with imaginations of the people. Millions of people directly and millions indirectly. Either trying to remove their imagination, alter their imagination, or redirect their imagination. Just today, one of my disciples was telling me, before she used to come regularly to the ashram, her daughter will always object, why are you going there? You are not attending us, you are not caring for us, the family pressure. Now, daughter also attended the program. Now she says, how could you come back? How could you be away from him? I am not able to. I am not able to be away from him. Earlier, how are you able to come back even after being around him? So her imagination, when she had wrong imagination, she was not able to relate with the mother. She was fighting with her, saying, why are you going? Now when she has the right imagination, she is fighting with her, why did you come back? It's a mind. It is imagination. Continuously, I am working with imaginations of the people. Many times, the imaginations become so strong, they can either completely move from the spiritual path or completely get enlightened. People sometimes ask me, how can imagination lead to enlightenment? After all, it is mental activity. How can that lead you to enlightenment? It's like somebody taking poison. Taking poison is an action, but that can lead them to death, beyond actions. Same way, the right imagination is taken, the mind will disappear, you will be beyond the mind. You will be beyond mind. You will be experiencing the no mind state or the ecstasy.